Greetings, everyone! Playing a game called Echo Prime right now. I'm wondering if it's worth your time. I've played about an hour, or over an hour with this game already, and I can tell you, it's a pretty good game. It's alright for what it does. There's some bugs, there's some issues. I will point those out. What the hell? What the hell? I have no idea how this happened. I haven't played these. Are these people who have played this game? I mean, there's something odd that I'm going to talk about later. I think that is weird. I'll deal with that later. I don't know how I got these guys. Okay. So, I'm going to look at the options menu for a second here. So, the graphics menu is abysmal. I'm going to be honest. It's not that great. I mean, for the game, what I'm about to show you, I can forgive it. I can forgive it because there's really not that much to it in terms of graphics. They have a resolution slider, so I guess that's acceptable. It doesn't go as low as I think it should. I like games that go down to 800 by 600 or 600 by 800, whatever the resolution is. Just for really bad computers like my old laptop. It's just a little personal thing. But it's fine. I don't think this is acceptable for most games. Audio sliders, you know. Master, music, SFX, that's fine. Input, they got rebindable keys. This game, first of all, is fully mouse driven. They have optional keys. I can tell you now, the dodge keys work. The lock movement, I actually never tested, because why would I? You really don't use it. There's no need to. And I can tell you this, though. These keys right here, you can rebind them, but they don't work. Even when rebound, they don't work. And that is a bug they have to fix because it really affects the game in a poor way. It makes it synthetically harder. It really does. It's not acceptable for a full release. The game's on sale right now, and it doesn't claim early access, and it's not in beta. At least it doesn't. No, it would claim early access if it was in beta, but it was released on Steam front page. It's claims completion. It's brought to you by the guys who made Orcs Must Die #2 and Hero Academy. So it's a small indie dev. They didn't have a publisher or anything. So Echo Prime. It's just a hack and slash game. Its combat system is satisfying, I would say, though there are some issues with it that I feel I need to point out. I will point out. But it does what it does well. You know, it's fairly simple. Go through a corridor. Go through different levels. Hear different music, the music in this game is actually pretty good, I think. And just progress through the galaxy and get progressively harder. Unfortunately, the game is, with one of the flaws in the game, it makes it really easy. Let's actually first check out the shop over here. There's no microtransactions, so that's a big plus right there. You're not gonna pay $10 and then get a game that is a single-player game and have microtransactions. That'd be unacceptable. With this is an upgrade area, but with these upgrades, they're more personalized. Let me explain. With the upgrades, you get to choose. I mean, yes, the farther down you go in the tree, the stronger these upgrades get. But when it comes to the sword, you get to choose what kind of playstyle you want, or the gun. You know, do you want to be somebody who just shoots lines of enemies, or do you want to be somebody who's more sword focused and you jump from one to the other, getting a high defense or a high resistance or some crit damage to deal out burst, you know? But you stack armor so your sword can do that kind of stuff. Right now I'm only on the first level sword, which actually now that I think about it, I could buy the second. Not the second, I'll buy the third. Aw, yeah. Equip it. It's a fairly simple system, and the more you go through levels, the more you unlock. Plain and simple. They got quite a variety. Wow, didn't even realize how many there were. There's a lot of levels in this. I have a big progression system too. According to this, up to 50 levels. They have boosts, which you'll need experience boosts. I'm dead serious. It took me about 30 minutes, I want to say, to get to level 2 until I got this experience boost. Now I'm level 7 and I played an hour in 12 minutes. It's actually ridiculous how long it takes to level up. The levels get kind of repetitive. not kind of, they do get repetitive. You'll see. There is some customization, and it goes more in depth with the actual character customization rather than the weapons, which for the most part are just simple upgrades. Though, I mean, yeah, you can choose how you want to refine your playstyle, but really they're just more upgrade oriented when it comes to the armor and weapons. However, the abilities are what make and break this game. Same area, my bad. I don't know which one to do. Hold on. I'm gonna go over this one. Unless I already did this one. No. Okay. I'll just do this mission right here. Passenger ship has been boarded. This may be... No, it's 3 chambers. So I don't think it's one of the defend this object missions. They have... So far, I've gone through 3 different systems. Or this is my second system. Unless you count the tutorial, in which case it would be the 3rd. There is 2 kinds of missions. There's a defense mission where you're in one room and you're fighting basically hordes of enemies for about 2 minutes. And then there's the travel through the multiple corridors missions where you're just fighting enemies and simply doing nothing. I guess you have to read the little story that they have up top. No, there's little quotes that each character will say. And you get to understand what you're doing on the mission. I don't really pay attention to it because I don't care. I'm more interested in the combat. I'm sure the story's fine, but I'm going to be entirely honest. I didn't listen. I didn't listen to it. I'm not that big on stories when it comes to hack and slashes. I just don't care. I mean, Diablo, I barely even listen to that. I'm going to choose this guy. I like his fire ability. Oh yeah, here it is. I didn't even realize I was actually in the customization area. So you unlock characters as you go through, and really you don't play these characters. You just get their abilities. And these are just, apparently, they're echoes. I don't really know what that means, but that's what they are. So you get characters as you unlock them. Yes, we're going to stay with those words that I just said there, even though it made very little sense. But these each have their own ability, and what you have here are 4 slots for those abilities, and you have to get to level 30 to unlock all 4 slots. What you do is, if you want to change the skill out, you simply remove it, and you click on another guy and add. By the way, this guy is weird. Power, I'm assuming, is just damage increase. It doesn't ever tell me. There's no indicator of what power does. There's a character that has this ability when you get hit, you have a 50% increase in your power for 10 seconds, I think. And that makes me think that it is based on your damage. Or not based on your damage, but it affects your damage. So, this is one little gripe I have about the skills. These are actives. They're bound to your keys, which, again, don't work. So, that's a problem. Need to fix it. Now, here, you see these little plus signs? And these names, I'm assuming these are people. Like on Steam. And they have their own character that they've created, and you get to choose them. I'm guessing it, because there's a friend thing here, and I have a friend. This guy, I did add him. I was over here. I clicked on the add button over here before, and I just added Sparky. Apparently, he has a bunch of characters. Oh, so you can choose their echoes. See, I wasn't able to. I made a previous video, but I scrapped it. I wasn't able to do this before. Now I can. So I can actually select his echoes, and I can use them. I don't know what the buy is, though. Buy. That's odd. They don't explain this at all. There's no tutorial for the menu, which would be nice. There's a guide online, but an in-game tutorial would be a lot more convenient and nicer. The game, that's what also adds to the feeling of incompleteness, incompletion. Damn. I'm blanking on the grammar right now. But yeah, the game really doesn't feel complete. With the combat and this whole lack of tutorial. It's actually frustrating. I'm going to choose Eddie. Alright, this is just basically an extra skill / passive that you can get. So I'm going to confirm with this. And then, those are in here. Music in this game, as I said, is pretty nice. I'll turn it up a little later and let you guys hear it. But right now, I'm going to show you something. Well, I'll try to. You hear that? That is me clicking the 1. You see that? That's bound to 1. and that skill is bound to 2. They don't work. They do not work. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know how to fix this. If there's a way to fix it, then put it on Steam forums, because this is a problem that needs to be fixed. I bound this shit to other keys, and it doesn't work either. Excuse my language right there. I don't know what the problem is. And there's no excuse. The game should work. I bought the game on sale, full release, and it should work. There's no excuse for that. But, onto the combat. The game is rather dull in terms of the gunplay. I mean, look at this. I have the laser gun, and all I have to do is just do that. Yep, that's it. The game breaks itself with its gunplay. I kid you not. This is all I have to do. I can just sit back and just shoot the enemies from afar and laugh. You don't take damage. It's hard. If you're good enough, which really doesn't take that much skill to be good at this, you never take damage in this game. You will never take damage if you just use your gun. If you use your sword, which I will give it this much. I will say this. The sword is freaking fun to play. It really is. Especially leaping to different enemies, one after the other. Like when I do that, if there's a group of 4 of them or something, I just leap and leap. Unfortunately, the enemy variety is a bit lacking. I mean, I've already played, and this is my 3rd system, technically. And I faced the same 3 enemies? I want to say 3, maybe 4, alright? Basically, this is all the same enemies, and it's getting dull in that aspect. By the way, this is all mouse-driven. As I said, I like that idea to some degree, but it does conflict. It does create conflicts, because when I want to dodge, but also move, I don't want to dodge move. I want to move in that direction. Or, I know I just realized I contradicted myself right there. No, I'm trying to do multiple things, okay? If I'm trying to cast a skill, because the keys don't work, I have to move over here, cast this skill, and then refrain, or go back to using my mouse to move around or dodge. And that's kind of annoying, because it should work with the key bindings. You have the key bindings working, or you claim completion the key bindings should work, and I can't even use them to make the combat smoother. And then you just randomly dodge for no reason because it's so sensitive on the clicks. On the movements, not the clicks. But when I click, if I just slightly move it backwards, I'll dodge. See? I'm trying to move forward and it's just dodging backwards. I should turn up the SFX volume right now because it's kind of boring sounding. The combat sounds good. The sound assets are nice, honestly. They they sound fairly generic, though. I mean, it's nothing truly inspired. Let's be honest. Nothing about this game screams unique. Okay, it's unoriginal. It's just a standard hack and slash, but it does what it does well, aside from the bugs. The combat feels good and it's simple. They got this, you know, kind of nice, bright-colored steampunk feel. Steampunk? Cyberpunk feel. I have no idea what steampunk is. I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is. But yeah, they got this nice cyberpunk art style, and it's more bright-colored rather than dark. And I like that. This developer usually makes bright-colored games, and, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. That's their style. And they did it well in this game. Graphics, you know, you can't really change any of the graphic settings, as I showed you. This is what you get. It doesn't look exceptional. Texture quality is what I would expect from this kind of game. Top-down, I guess, shooter. Hack and slash, you know. It's not terrible. It's not the greatest looking game. It's no Crysis, but I'm not expecting Crysis. It's fine. It looks good. Again, though, it seems uninspired. The game just seems almost like a cash-in, but it's a cheap one. That's fine, because it's only $10 on Steam. Reasonable price for a reasonable game. If you're looking for something like this, some simple shooter, which isn't anything to be condemned, then, you know, this is a solid game. Oh my, I actually died. It's good enough. It's good enough to recommend to somebody who's looking for a fairly simple shooter. But my question to you is, are you willing to accept good enough because of the bugs? Or are you willing to wait for them to fix stuff? Because there are things that they need to fix. Honestly, I wouldn't I would recommend it as a good enough game because the bugs really aren't that big of a deal. It's just, I don't think it's acceptable entirely. But I mean, it's only $10 though, so it's not that expensive. And everything else works fine. And since it's a fully mouse-driven game, I can forgive it for me having to click this stuff. If it was entirely mouse-driven and there weren't even keys, well then it'd be fine. But there are keys. They set themselves up for me to bash them on this. Don't have me have a story skill over here when the quest requires it that says hit space. The skill will say space, just like this says 1, and have it not work. Okay, that's unacceptable. It's bullshit. Okay, I don't want that. Ooh, that felt good right there. And what you're seeing here is basically every level. You get the same, not the same map, but the same gameplay other than the defense missions. Hour in, I've played all the same missions, except for 2 defense missions. There is an arena mode, which I'll be honest, is kind of cool. I like the arena mode. It gets progressively harder, and it really does get harder. Arena mode is difficult. I've only gotten through, I think, 4 waves. Look at Combat Simulator. This is the arena mode, and it's on every system. All right. I don't know. I'll keep the same people. Yeah, that's fine. Deflection, no. Battle Rage is alright. Root is good, but I'll choose Battle Rage. Alright. Arena mode is fun. You start out with 1 enemy, and then you get more and more throughout. And they get progressively tougher as well. I'm tired of using this laser beam. I keep forgetting to switch it. Laser beams are so boring. There is a block system and a parry tied into the block. You take less damage when you block. And parry, usually you take no damage. Hold on. See if I can parry. Oh, jeez. Shit, right. Forgot. I can't use that unless I click on it. That kind of gets me killed in arena often. By the way, the game claims to have big boss fights. I haven't come across one. I really haven't. I mean, I thought I did, but really it was just a fatter one of these guys. No, that guy over there. And it didn't feel like a boss fight at all. I've been to the 3rd system now, okay? And I haven't come across a single boss fight. If there was, then I didn't even notice. It was that terrible. And I died. So that's arena, right there. Plain and simple. Fairly generic enemies. But it's a cheap game. So, I don't expect much from it either. If I'm being too harsh on the game, please let me know. I mean, I don't really think I am. I'm trying to be fair with it. It does what it does well. I mean, it's a combat game. It's just a simple hack and slash, and that's all it tries to be. It doesn't really try to be anything else. It doesn't claim to be anything else. It does claim to have big boss fights, and I haven't come across any, but that's one of the few gripes I have about the combat system, other than the game-breaking gunplay. If they fix the gunplay, maybe make limited ammo, which would actually greatly affect the game. That would be awesome. Give me limited ammo. Make my sword the main weapon. Add that bit of tension between me having to conserve ammo and know when to shoot and who to shoot, and me having to play safe with my sword and utilize that dodge and block system. Because as of now, I never use block. Ever. You never have to. You just dodge and shoot your gun. As you saw. It really makes for boring combat unless you force yourself to use the sword almost solely. It's disappointing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just show you some of the different levels and show you, the variety in the levels, and just let you listen to the music and gameplay, okay? I'm not going to say anything anymore. Not unless I have something important I feel I need to add, I'm just going to let you guys listen to some of the music and see the different levels they did before. This is very strange. Alright, let's just go to this level. The level designs are not all that different. There's not much variety, sadly enough. Oh, really? I can't replay the levels. Well, that's a shame. That is a shame. Here's the defense mission, and they're all the same. And I'm gonna be quiet and let you listen to the music. Alright, so that was a generator map. It's just a defense. It's just one of those usual optional missions. Just happened to be generator that time. Unfortunately, we can't replay missions. I thought we could. It's odd. It was able to do that before. Let's see what this rescue mission is. What's the level of this one? What's it look like? Nope, same map. Not same exact map as that, but I think this one is actually the second level. Alright, I'm gonna be quiet again so you can listen to this one's music though. Final level. No bosses either. I almost guarantee. I still haven't come across a boss. Damn. I'm playing careless. Oh, that's a glitch right there. I just dodge rolled and it did my skill. Nothing went out. No fireballs went out. Is that a boss? Because he looks the same as everyone else. And I think that is one of the bosses. Yeah. It is. Wow. That's disappointing. Allow me to amend my previous statement. If I recommended this game, I do not. Honestly, I think it's simple, and it does what it does in terms of combat decently, but it's just the game is broken due to its gunplay. I mean, you saw me right there. That was just boring to watch. I'm bored playing it, so I know it was boring to watch. And the fact that the bosses look like every other enemy, and I've already been through, I actually used a different save this time. Apparently I had some synchronization issues with the cloud, so I didn't use my save from the cloud, which is a different, no it's not, which had different systems. I'd play more on those. So I'm using a different save now, and I've gone basically into 4 systems. You'll notice an edit earlier that I've linked 2 parts of the video together. So this game, I don't know. I think it was done lazily. It seems lazy in terms of combat and just overall gameplay. Again, it's $10 though. So if you're looking for a cheap hack and slash experience, then you can find one here. It's not terrible. It's just there's way better games out there. I mean, if you're looking for a hack and slash, go try Path of Exile. It's not the same format, but it's a hack and slash nonetheless, and it's pretty damn good. Hell, Diablo 3, Diablo 2, and that game is good, and it's I think less than $20 now. I mean, I still love Diablo 2, if I'm totally honest. And that's an old game, but damn, is it still good. And it's sad that I would recommend Diablo 2 over this. Maybe it's nostalgia, but I genuinely think that Diablo 2 is more fun than this game in terms of hack and slash, and that's all this really is. So, take it with a grain of salt. I would not entirely recommend this game unless you're really bored and looking for a cheap gameplay. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.